Strength and weakness, how God's grace transforms our struggles. Have you ever felt so overwhelmed by a struggle that you begged for relief? Maybe it's a tough job, an illness, or a personal loss. You're not alone. Even the Apostle Paul, one of Christianity's greatest leaders, had a thorn in his life that he pleaded with God to remove. But instead of relief, God gave him something far more powerful: grace. In 2 Corinthians 12:8-10, Paul talks about a mysterious thorn in his flesh. He asked God 3 times to take it away. We don't know exactly what that thorn was. Scholars say it could have been physical pain, persecution, or spiritual struggle. But here's the key. Paul's humanity shines through his plea. Just like us, Paul wasn't immune to hardship. How many times have you prayed for something to change in your life, only to feel like God wasn't answering? Whether you're a Christian or just looking for hope, we all ask, why won't this go away? But then God responds to Paul in a way that might surprise you. He says, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." What a profound response. Instead of removing the thorn, God offers grace. Not a quick fix, but something even greater. His grace is the strength we need to endure. God's grace isn't a band-aid solution. It's transformational. It doesn't just cover our weaknesses, it shines through them. Think of it like a cracked vessel where the light of God's strength radiates through every broken part of our lives. Paul's response to this grace is countercultural. Instead of hiding his weaknesses, he boasts in them. That sounds so strange, right? But it makes sense when you realize that when we acknowledge our weaknesses, we leave room for God's power to rest on us. In a world where we're told to be strong and self-reliant, Paul's message flips the script. It's okay to be vulnerable. In fact, that's when we're strongest, because God's power shows up the most when we admit we can't do it alone. Paul doesn't just tolerate his weaknesses, he delights in them. Why? Because his hardships, whether it's insults, persecution, or challenges, are opportunities for God's power to shine. This is what makes the Christian faith so different. We don't just endure suffering. We find purpose and joy in it. Our hardships are not in vain. They're where God meets us most intimately, offering us grace that strengthens us from the inside out. So if you're facing something today, a struggle, a thorn in your flesh, remember this: God's grace is sufficient for you. When you're weak, He is strong. This week, instead of asking God to take away your pain, ask Him to show His power through it. Because in our weakness, God's strength shines brightest. Leave a comment below. What's the one thing you're trusting God to transform in your life today? Don't forget to subscribe for more messages of hope and inspiration. And hit that like button if this message encouraged you.